And then she's like, sore loser. And he's like, when my brothers tag team me. Okay, first off, that sounds fun. 2.
I knew you were going to say that.
I wrote it in the book. Sounds fun.
Yeah, that's Feyre's Pornhub search.
It's Nesta's Pornhub search for sure. Bat Boy Tag Team. Welcome back to the Book Breathing Bitch Queens podcast. I'm Sam.
And I'm Allie. This week we're jumping into chapter 32. This is our entry into the summer court. We start out in Valaris and then we stardust over, little we get some description of what they're wearing and their whatever, greeting each other before they leave. Then they go off to the summer court. We meet summer court people, Tarquin, Cresseida, Varian, and there are other people that are there, but mostly those three. And then, yeah, basically we just are just meeting them and we have the first little dinner and a tense little conversation. Also very iconic. Also, I feel like it's also really important for Rhys and Feyre's relationship too. It's like, really interesting. It's interesting the way Feyre is narrating or analyzing things. I'm like, that's what you think. I don't know. That's what I was thinking a lot in this chapter. But yeah, so that's what it is. First chapter in the summer court.
Yeah, we're on summer vacation. Reading about summer vacation.
Yes, we are.
The first thing I highlighted was Bloodhound.
That was my first underlined. Yep. And that's actually what I thought. I was like, well, first of all, I wrote Feyre's smug as hell. And also she's kind of into it. She's like to me, would Feyre describe herself as a bloodhound? To me, that sounds like something that when her and Rhys and Amryn were talking, he's like, and what they don't know is you're a bloodhound. And then she's like repeating it to herself.
Yeah.
I feel like she's buying into his narrative in that way. I mean, I don't know. Maybe she called herself the bloodhound or whatever. And it's like kind of interesting tonally. But it has this vibe of like something Rhys would say.
Yeah.
But at the very least, her smugness and her like, she's kind of like almost, she seems empowered. Like she's like excited to do this, excited to be the secret weapon. And that's the huge difference.
These chapters are such high lady energy.
Yes.
And there's I think it's in this chapter, there is a like, oh shit moment that could be a theory for some nonsense. But yeah, no, I'm a bad bitch and I'm a do me chapters.
She's feeling fulfilled, I think.
And I think part of it, right, because like they're putting on these masks like of the like cold, badass, dangerous, whatever. And so I forgot
about that.
I think part of that is, it's like when you dress up, right? Like you can kind of feel a little different, or if you're in a space where you can, you have to put on that, you can like, fake it till you make it a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think that might be part of this. But I think it's also just like her inner, she's feeling useful, right? She didn't get to do any of this. She's not sequestered. And so not only is she not sequestered, but now she's doing something that is important that only she can do.
The center,
It's putting her in danger. It's trusting her will. It's doing all the things. And she's like, fuck yeah. Like she's having her leadership moment. But yeah, the use of Bloodhound, like, I get it. I don't think it theorizes that she's related to fucking any, to Danica or anything. But
I did underline it though. And I was like,
but yeah, because now Bloodhound now comes up in all 3 books, right? Because, Erwin has his bloodhounds, right? The things that hunt Manon. Now we have Feyre referring to herself as a bloodhound, and then we have the actual like bloodhounds of Danica and Papa Cuntbag Danica, whose name I can't remember because he's not worth remembering.
Papa Cuntbag.
It's Danica's biological Danica's biological father, who's part of Sandriel's Triari.
Wow, you remembered so many names just then.
He was he's like second in command in Lydia, in her people. So like Lydia, it's her hounds. Her hellhounds. Lydia has hellhounds.
That's Danica's dad?
That's Murdoch.
Or
Mordok?
No,
something like
I'm
that.
sure you're right. Whoa. That reread is gonna be lit. Oh, I forget you just did a reread.
I literally you had so many names right now.
I'm like, Triari, that is true.
Yeah. I remember.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Deep cuts over here from the rereader. Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's embarrassing how much I don't remember. See, I need to read. Okay, I just need to fucking.
Mm-hmm. What's crazy to me is that
so much.
So we have Rhys, who knows Tarquin from under the mountain and saved Tarquin under the mountain. And so there has to be an inclination by Tarquin that Rhys isn't all bad and certainly was not playing Amarantha's games. And yet he shows up playing the same role that he did under the mountain. Right? Rhys was in head to toe black, accented with silver threads, no wings, the cool, cultured male I'd first met, his favorite mask.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's playing High Lord of the Court of Nightmares, right? But it's an interesting choice. And I think it's because he needs to, I don't know, like maybe it's a High Lord thing where they all kind of like pissing contests over power for a while and then they can bring down their things. And also because he doesn't trust Tarquin either. And they're going in to fucking steal from him, I guess. But you would think that there'd be a slightly more simpering if they're going to steal from this guy. But
I get the impression it's like that pissing contest type of thing. Plus, maybe he can only be that way with Tarquin, and it's like more secret, and the rest of the court needs to still see him like that type of thing.
Yeah, or maybe he just doesn't know Tarquin enough, and so he's like, cool, well, if I end up not being able to like this guy or not being able to trust him, I would rather him know this mask than be vulnerable and show a true color and then have to show him my bad side or like whatever. I would rather him be weary of me and us because I'm weary of him. So, I do love that Feyre keeps acknowledging the things that she's selected to wear. And she's making cutesy little choices.
Why do you like that?
Because she was told by Ianthe what to wear. And here's the thing. She, not only did she select it for herself, but she doesn't mention asking anybody, right? And so it's like, she doesn't know what to expect in the summer court, other than summer. She doesn't know what, like, I mean, sure, I'm sure he's given her, they gave her a little, like, info done, they gave her a debrief or a whatever for what to expect. It's not debriefing because that's after they gave her the pre-briefing that I can't remember what the name is, but anyways, so like she has an idea of what to expect, but it's not like she was like, hey, Moore, is this a good thing to take, or like, oh, what are the colors, like what should I be doing, should I make sure that I take these boots or do I not need them, or like that. Like there's none of that. She's just like, cool, I packed my own shit, I worked it out. And on top of that, like the last time that she had more than just necessities was when she was 11, right? And so like even just putting things together that's like for a trip, for some leisure, like it's a skill that she's developed now that she doesn't really question her. I mean, she doesn't question herself, but she does get pissed when Rhys doesn't acknowledge it.
She does.
She's also, like, I got my haircut and my husband didn't notice these two chapters.
It definitely gives that. It's so funny. Also, I think the word you were looking for is just briefed. Isn't that weird? I think you just say, I was briefed on this. And then it's like a stupid English thing.
Sometimes I'm real fucking brilliant. And sometimes I'm not.
By the way, it's not embarrassing at all to ever have a mistake in English. People always, like, because they know I teach English, they're always like, I said this wrong word. And I'm like, girl, I misspell definitely every single time. Every single time. I do not care. But I think it's funny that you were like looking for that word, and I was like, it's just a stupid, simpler version, even though it should be the more complex version.
Yeah, it's definitely and ridiculous. I misspell every time.
Well, ridiculous I got.
It's just all eyes. It's just all eyes. I was like, ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting. Yeah, I have absolutely always also gets me for the same reason, and I know it's just like the word absolute with an ly, but like I never type it that way. Same with definite.
I have to sound out Wednesday when I spell Wednesday.
I do not have to, but I still do every time.
Yeah, that's fair. I probably don't have to anymore.
Yeah,
I just do.
It's so crazy.
I do love when people think the same thing of historians. They think that we're just like textbooks walking around with
You're
just
like, oh my god,
timelines in
I'm
our head
judging
all
you
day.
for not knowing what year this happened in.
Yeah,
like, that's
and
what you
like
think?
there was something that like our neighbor said. And she's like, she's a historian. I was like, oh no, I don't know shit about that. I was like, that's not my area of study. I don't know dick about that at all.
Yeah.
She's like, really? Yeah, no, that's not how that works. I don't just keep timelines in my head at all times. No.
Also, the one thing I will note is that in my notes I was kind of wondering, like, I said Amren's always described as stormy, and then I was like, is she described as always being gray because the priority was to describe her as stormy, and is there like a character powers secret reason for that, or is it just she's gray and that's often associated with a storm? I guess you could be like steel, iron, rock,
maybe,
like,
but there is something that's very Amren-y, angel-y, fallen angel, very Hunt-esque, very Thunderbird-esque. There's something there for sure.
I just noted that because I was like, because I think before it said rainwater something, and I was like, what is the storm thing? Let's connect those threads. Anyway, but yeah, and then I think you were talking about the Feyre's outfit and stuff. I can never picture these outfits, for the record. I'm just like, okay, she's wearing some fucking shit, and there's a flower. Like, I can never picture them.
This section, why Rhys is in a bad mood, I think is a lie.
I think it's a lie too. I was like, you little bitch.
I think it's a lie, or it's part truth.
Yeah, right. I get the sense that he's arguing with them or with somebody.
Yes. So like she feels pretty. She's having her fucking glow up moment, walking down the stairs with her phantom wind beneath her skirts, right? And then Rhys like looks at her with no, like, you know, he like gives her
unreadable
sweep, and then he goes, "Good, let's go." And she's like, my mouth popped open, but Amren explained with a broad feminine smile, he's pissy this morning. Why? I asked, watching Amren take Rhys's hand, her delicate hand, blah, 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 blah. He goes, and then he interrupts, because I stayed out late with Cassian and Azriel, and they took me for all I was worth in cards. I highly fucking doubt that High Lord of the Night Court who has a fucking treasure trove. They did not take you for all you're worth, but okay. Buddy.
Well, I still don't even believe that they just beat him in cards.
But
like,
yeah, and like you know, yeah, I'm like, and then she's like, sore loser, and he's like, when my brothers tag team me. Okay, first off, that sounds fun. 2,
I knew you were gonna say that.
I wrote it in the book. Sounds fun.
Yeah, that's Feyre's Pornhub search.
It's Nesta's Pornhub search for sure. Bat boy tag team. But yeah, I literally wrote it in my notes. Sounds fun, with a winky smiley face next to it. But I don't think it's cards. I think they ganged up on him to talk shit to him about what they're doing, because Cassian was already like, seriously, you're gonna steal from him? And Cassian's probably like, let me go, bro. And he's like, fuck off, dude. You're not going. And then Azriel, I don't know, dude. Like, maybe there's something. There's something.
Do you think
happening.
It's about Feyre? Or do you think they're like, why are you doing this with her? Or like, you're going to get her caught? Do you think they're worried? And or, I mean, part of me is like, maybe they're just like being like, you like her. I know you like her. Like,
that,
and brilliant like that.
Or maybe they were like,
probably more serious.
Well, that, or maybe they were like trying to like being protective. Where it's like, are you sure she should be the one going? Like, I know that she has this gift, and like, but it's
maybe
dangerous.
They were trash talking her.
No, I don't think trash talking.
You know, not trash talking, but like questioning her, and he's like, "It's my girl."
I don't know that they're questioning. I mean, maybe. I think what it is that Rhys sees, like, could you imagine, right? Cassian's like, are you sure she's ready? Like, training is blah, blah, blah. And then Azriel's like, I don't know, dude. Like, this is kind of an intense, like, spy thing. I could just go in and do it, or I could go with, blah, 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 whatever else. And he's like, no, she's got this. And he's like, you're really willing to put her into that kind of danger? And then Rhys is like, why are you worried about my mate? Like, getting defensive about it. Like, don't worry about her. Are you interested in her? And Cassian's being Cassian. He's probably like, I'd fuck her.
And they don't know yet, right?
Well, okay. That's the thing. We did not talk about...
I mean, in the last chapter with the you know, him
So
sheltering
chapter-
her, they
this is-
clearly know that there's
okay.
something going on.
Because after chapter 31 is when the bonus chapter between Nesta and Cassian is, and we did not read it. So right before this, Cassian went to the mortal world by himself, and he like snuggles Nesta's neck and shit, and is all like hot and bothered by her. And one of the things in there that he mentions is that I'll read it. She says, "How's my sister?" Because so this is after the Ator attacked, right? So this is the Ator attacked, they go and have breakfast, and then they go back to Valaris. So now Cassian comes, days later, weeks later, whatever, and he's like, "Hello, Nesta, nice to see you."
Okay.
She says, "How's my sister?" And then his thoughts are healing, he almost said, trying to outrun the fact that she's falling in love with Rhys, and pointedly ignoring the fact that he's been in love with her for a long damn time. That all signs point to them being mates, but I'm not stupid enough to say it to either of them.
I
So
forgot.
he merely
about
said,
that.
"Busy."
Oh, he didn't say any of that to her.
Mm-mm.
That's all in his head.
Yeah.
Okay, so Cassian really knows.
Cassian knows. So now
was surely Asriel knows then too, right?
Yeah,
Like,
for sure. You know they're little gossip bitches. You know, he's like, you know he's got a thing for it. And he's like, don't say it. Because he's like, I didn't say it to him. Well, we all know who he's saying it to. They're sitting there, drinking their little fucking wine up in the House of Wind, playing with their fucking hidden daggers, crossing swords with each other, tag teaming people.
Swords.
And talking about Rhys being in love with Feyre.
Yes.
So yeah, maybe they were like, really? Like, bro, just tell her you fucking like her. And Rhys is like, shut the fuck up. I don't like her. She's my inner circle. I trust her. Blah, blah, blah. She's my emissary. And they're like, you're a little bitch.
Honestly, probably.
You're gonna let her go to the night court. You're gonna let her to go to summer court and fucking seduce a High Lord? Is that what she's gonna do, Rhys? She's already fucked Tamlin, and you didn't like that one bit. You're gonna whore her out to Tarquin? You really got a thing for this this cucking chair, Rhys.
Honestly. And then he saw her and he's like, damn, she looks hot. And then she's like, and then he's like, I ain't gonna give them any fucking ammo. Let's just go. And so he's like,
Yep.
My joke, I was like, in the margins, I was like, yeah, he's just trying to quell his boner.
Like, he could be.
That's why he's like, good, let's go.
Yeah, he could be.
That was a gross voice I just did.
That's the voice of all men.
Men, just fucking gross.
Yep.
Yep.
Does this feel like Captain Rolfe would be hanging out here?
No, it feels like prissy. It feels like prissy rich people beach.
But does it feel like what it could have been in a time long ago? That it could have been really nice,
yeah.
Or that it was nice, and then the Asteri fucked it all up and brought them all new technology, and then their first light died out, so then they went back into the Dark Ages, and then it turned into the place that Aelin pops her Rowan cherry.
Where did she do that? Isn't that an Elwë?
No, she does it at the whatever bay.
Skull Bay?
Skulls Bay. It's a half-moon bay.
You think that
ACOTAR's
it
first.
Was in the past?
I think
ACOTAR being first. Okay.
ACOTAR first, then Crescent City, then Throne of Glass, but it doesn't actually make sense because like the shifters come from Throne of Glass World too. But
they could just come from another time.
Yeah, or they came from another world, and that's, I don't know, but whatever. Anyways,
That's interesting.
There's a theory that it's the same because of the map stuff, right? There is a theory that this is the same place, different time, and that like ACOTAR is the original, what it looks like in the past, and then the Asteri come in and they do all the technology stuff, and then when the first light goes out, because that's where we're at in Crescent City, we're like, I guess we're gonna be going back to the Dark Ages. Because right, it's like there's only kind of like one kind of, I mean, there's like the Fae and human are very separated in ACOTAR. There's very strict lines. And then we have like humans are mingling, but still very separate within Crescent City. And then in Throne of Glass, right, humans and are breeding with Fae, right? There's demi-Fae and things like that. So
yeah, okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I totally skipped over the half moon thing.
Yeah, but I don't know. I was just like, this feels a little, but it's also just, summer, pirate, ocean. So it all feels like that vibe. It's very Pirates of the Caribbean right now,
Yeah,
but
it
glitzy.
just feels, yeah, it feels glamorous or prettier than Skulls Bay. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, who we will get answers. Did you think it was interesting that bears in lilac? Why do I think that that's been a significant color? I think maybe it's Nessa that was wearing lilac or something. Like, I don't know what made me pause there.
She's constantly wearing dusk court colors in the summer court. Lilac and then a dusk pink dress that is almost the twin to the purple one she just wore. Lilac and dusk pink, those are constantly used with Rhys when she has dusk colored lilac nails.
Yeah.
And a dusk pink dress because she's starborn. And when Tarquin looks at her to look for her power, he looks at the spot that Bryce is scarred. I mean, he's looking at her tits, but he's looking at her chest and trying to like see the power that's there. I'm like, so her power, her little light of power would, emit from her heart.
Okay, because I've long thought Feyre was starborn, and what if like this? Okay, so we know Dusk Court. That's probably like where the starborn power is, but maybe maybe Tarquin is starborn, and that's why they're doing the like calls to like thing, as because she doesn't really have this reaction with other High Lords, right? She sees like
that's the other
like Varian,
thing.
and she like I remember you. She's seeing like a deeper, more ancient power.
There is a bond because she even says it goes on a little bit where she says it's later,
middle of 309.
No, 313, right? What did he make of that tug between us? Did he realize it was his own power or think it was a bond of its own, some sort of strange allure? She doesn't talk like this. I'm like, why does she not even, I mean, even with the bond with Rhys, like she acknowledges there's the bond there, but like whatever. But she doesn't talk about a tug on Tamlin's power. She doesn't talk about a tug on Baron's power or on Callius's. So this is very strange.
Now I understand like in terms of lore, it kind of needs to happen because she needs to get the idea to search for the book by being Tarquin.
Yeah.
And so I think that's like why it's like this here. And I hope it's not just like oversight, because it really feels like they recognize something. They have a similar other kind of power that's deeper than
it could also be though that there's less vulnerability around him, because she even says it would be easy to love you and even easier to be your friend. I think that there is a genuineness or genuine anyways to Tarquin. There is something that comes off as not this fake charismatic bullshit, but just as like a decent dude. And right, Baron doesn't have that. She's gonna have the walls up, and she knows Baron can't know about this power because he'll fucking kill me, right? And then Tamlin is all mixed up with all sorts of shit. And Rhys, she just puts everything on the bargain. And so I'm wondering if there's just a level of like, she would feel this with the other High Lords if she trusted them more. And because Tarquin comes off as like, a nice guy, she's just like, and because she needs to lean into it, right? She needs to be able to kind of like push that a little bit. So maybe she's just paying more attention.
But she is guarded when she first gets there, surely. Like, she's probably nervous and being like, okay, I gotta get my shit together. And it's the first thing she thinks when she sees him is like,
I don't think she is nervous.
I remember you. Well, I didn't get the sense that she was nervous. I would just assume that because like, you're here to do a spy thing. And
I knew him remembered.
So shouldn't she do hers? But I remember 3 times. We are one and the same, you and I. That is different.
Yeah. No, I now remembered the High Lord of Summer in a way I couldn't quite explain. Like some fragment of me had come from him from here. Like some piece of me said, I remember. We are one and the same, you and I.
And now,
I wrote next to it, why does she not note this with Tamlin or Rhys? Why does she not acknowledge? Why is it not spoken the same way when she's in the room of other High Lords? That she also has this like pull.
I was gonna say it's the only High Lord she ever meets on his own land, so maybe that's what it is. But she does hang out with Tamlin on his own land, so maybe not.
And Rhys on his own land. And when they go to Dawn Court, right? It's Dawn who
Oh, the
hosts the High Lords,
son.
right?
Yeah, they are in his. You're right.
Thesan, right?
I think it's Thesan, Thesan.
Yeah, Thesan. Anyways,
Something.
whatever.
I don't know how to
Doesn't
say
matter.
it. It's one of those.
I'm always noting when Rhys's hands are in his pockets because that's when he's all fucking
putting it on.
Yeah, and one of his hands is in his pockets because
it's his tell.
Yeah, it is his tell. That's why his brothers took him for all he's worth in cards, because they know his fucking tell. Plus, you can't put your hands in your pockets while you're playing cards, Rhys. It's pretty fucking obvious that you're lying.
Do you like Feyre? Get your hand out of your pocket. I can. Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, it is his tell. Let's see.
I want to jeez, I just want prequel books of just shenanigans, dude. Because Amren, I think you know that you haven't met her since your promotion. Welcome back to the city, lady. So Tarquin was the cousin. He was a cousin of the last High Lord, and when the High Lord Nostrus rebelled, Amarantha killed him and his whole family, and that's how Tarquin became the High Lord. He never expected to be a High Lord, right? But the whole family, it's like they went very many generations, and so it just popped over to the next guy in line, which was a cousin. And he was a prince of a different city, the same way that Varian is a prince.
Okay.
So Varian is the prince of Adriata, and
Cresseida
is the princess of the same city. And then
Tarquin was a prince of another one?
He was a prince of a different city, and then he became the High Lord.
Okay.
But I'm just like, so why he wasn't a prince in Adriata, and so how did he meet Amren before? And then when would he have met her? Like, he was 30 when he went under the mountain, so is he like, what? It's very strange. Where he's like, I believe.
Also, if he's 30, doesn't that mean he's 15?
Well, he's 80 now, so he was 30 when he went under the mountain.
Oh, true.
Which, I'm not much older than that, so I would remember people I've met, but it seems like a what? Okay, maybe it was when Cassian broke one small, tiny, insignificant building.
Tiny one. Yeah. That's so interesting.
It's a very weird way to play it, right? Amren didn't nod or bow or so much as curtsy. She looked over Tarquin, tall and muscled, his clothes of sea green and blue and gold, and said, "At least you're far more handsome than your cousin. He was an eyesore. Condolences, of course." And it says, "Wicked, cruel. That's what Amren and Rhys were. What I was to be to these people." And I said, "Why play it this way?"
Yeah, I didn't get that. That's my exact thought when I saw that. I was like, oh.
It's a weird way to play it.
Amren's being a bitch. I forgot. Yeah.
Do you think, I know that Rhys becomes jealous of Tarquin, right? And maybe that's part of why he's already in a shitty mood, because he's already jealous. He's like, this guy is a High Lord, and he's attractive, and he's a lot younger. And he doesn't have all the bullshit that me and Tamlin have. And there's a good chance that she's going to be into this dude. Do you think he's preemptively jealous already?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I mean, I just can't see Rhys being that kind of insecure. I can see him being
he is later.
That's because Feyre is very boldly flirting with him. Convincing, and she's trying to make Rhys jealous, isn't she?
But he tells her to. He's like, "Do you like?"
Doesn't he? I haven't read the chapter.
He's like, "Do you like that he can't take his eyes off you? Do you think it's because he wants you, or because he's worried about your power?" And she's like, "Can it be both?" And he's like, "Do whatever it takes to get that book." And she's like, "Should I fuck him to get the book?" And he was like, "If you want to take him for a ride, go ahead."
Yeah, but I think he's just sort of sees her energy and is like, well, I don't care. Sure, go for it. I don't think he would have, I don't know.
Maybe he put the mask on, and when he's in the mask, he's just a dick. It's when my husband is in work mode, I'm like, I'm not married to that guy. That's not my husband. He's a prick.
That's fucking Chris.
Yeah, that's Chris. I didn't marry Chris. So yeah, maybe she's just like, well, work Rhys is a fucking cunt. But yeah, his gaze drifted to my
Amber's his work wife.
yes. His gaze drifted to my chest, the bare skin revealed by the sweeping V of my gown, as if he could see where that spark of life, his power, had gone. And the Rhys follows that gaze and says, her breasts are rather spectacular, aren't they? Delicious as ripe apples. And I'm such a dick that I'm like, apple-sized breasts are spectacular?
Yeah, I go, that's small. It sounds small.
Those are small. Even big apples are small breasts.
I mean, you know why? It's probably because we go, melons. That's what these are.
That's true.
We're like, apples.
I'm like,
might as well said cherries.
Reese would never like us with our freaking cantaloupes and watermelons over here. I do love her little like quip back though, right? And here I was thinking you had a fascination with my mouth, and then like delighted surprise lit Reese's eyes there and gone in a heartbeat. Mm-hmm. But she can like feel his little satisfaction down the bond or whatever.
And that like that kind of like flirting, it's like such a better flirting than so many of the other like I feel like in the scope of romantasy, I feel like there's so much traditional shit.
Yeah, that's
just like, okay, sure, and then but like that is such an interesting like unique flirting of like I don't know, that little interaction, a lot of these parts always strike me as really interesting. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No. I do find it interesting, right? So after Cresseida says a pleasure and an honor, and she's right, my breakfast turned to lead in my gut, but I didn't let her see what the groveling did to me. Let her realize it was ammunition, right? That she's like, please God, don't thank me for what I did, because I don't feel pride in what I did. Varian is Cresseida's younger brother and captain of Tarquin's guard. So not his general, but captain of his guard.
Very
and a prince. And I also thought it was interesting because we don't talk about Baron's sons as princes of the Autumn Court, do we? We just say the sons of the High Lord, right?
Yeah. Why is there a prince?
Well, there's Prince Danid, but that's because his dad is the king of the Autumn Fae.
Maybe there's just like in the Summer Court they had a bunch of old school nobility that was like, I want some titles, and they are very much the whole like, you know, the whole like lesser Fae thing. Yeah, because they do seem like they have like a lot more division and stratification and obsession with titles. So maybe it's like that.
Yeah, and like, you know, we acknowledge that Mor would be considered a queen, which is weird. She should be considered a princess because she's not.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It seems just like a terminology thing.
It's a weird thing. Yeah. I think it ties more to some
makes
like
sense with
Crescent City type Fae stuff, right? Cormac is the prince of an Avalon prince versus an Autumn Fae prince, and I don't know, some weird stuff. I think
if there's any other princes of
Also, I just right. Amber remained within reach, and I wondered if she would also be my bodyguard. She's never armed. We never see her fight.
Amber?
She's got some scary power. I feel like this is all just bullshit, and they just have talked up her myth so much that people are afraid of her, and she doesn't have to do anything.
Well, I think like they often talk about like when you look at her for the first time, you're like, what the fuck? Like, I think it's actually that she's scary, or that people get like this otherworldly like fear of her.
Yeah,
like they sense what she is.
I just don't know what she can do other than shed herself entirely and turn into a weird flying bird angel thing.
She is underutilized. I'm sure she has some cool powers.
She's got to be doing something. What? Or like, I don't know, give her like, you know, where she's got a secret dagger or something, or like, you know, some weird powers where she can just like, I don't know, fling a little fucking nail straight into somebody's eyes or some shit. I don't know.
That's how I feel about Mor too. Like, it's like, oh, she's number 2, and
but we see her fight. We see her in battle leathers. We see her in battle. We know that she fights like on the ground.
But we never see her like. I would have expected in that battle scene.
But we don't even see Amren in battle. We see her run into the cauldron.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like even more like, you know, if she's so fearsome, let's see some of that. Like, because Amren's, it could be like, oh, she can't do her big power unless she does this thing, right? But Mor should, like, I feel like if I'm writing this book and I'm like, let's show them off a little bit. I'm gonna have Feyre watch more, like take out a bunch, like show some of this
Yeah.
like
But
reputation that they
also,
both seem to have.
it just feels like if the only weapon you have is a nuclear bomb, that's not a great bodyguard.
Yeah. Well, and
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, right? A few soldiers with some swords, or a soldier, somebody with a gun would work just fine for a bodyguard. You don't take an atomic bomb with you as a bodyguard. It seems a bit much.
That's where I assume that Amryn just has more powers than she.
Yeah,
she has like some like lesser powers that she uses like daily that are probably like
that, or maybe she
powerful.
can fucking kill people with word marks because she uses word marks later in the.
Who does
she uses word marks to get them when they get the book. We'll get there, but she uses them.
Who does Feyre fight with? Why am I remembering Feyre fighting in the Summer Court with Moore?
Because she does. Yeah, when the Summer Court gets attacked by Hybern, her and Moore go in and they save the women before they're assaulted.
I was like,
by
Moore's
Hybern's
not here
people.
right now. What am I remembering?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's in book 3.
Yes.
Or later in this book, something like book 3, before the big war.
Yeah. Okay, I will say also, this is where a moment like that, or is where I was thinking of Feyre's narration and like her analysis of it is like, it kind of, some parts of it do seem delusional, like, oh, maybe my Amryn's my bodyguard. And I'm like, you just think that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like Rhys is I don't know. Does she need a bodyguard? I guess she does, but I don't know. Yeah, I just assumed Amryn has more powers. I never thought of it like that she's only the big scary, but I do think like people are scared of her right off the bat. So that's a good barrier, I guess.
I mean, I guess it's like if you see a demon, right? Like if I was hanging out with an actual demon, you'd be like, I'm just not gonna fuck with it. I don't know what they're capable of, but they have literal fire in their eyes and horns on their head, so like maybe don't fuck with them.
Yeah,
when they could just be a giant bitch, but because it's alien and foreign and weird, they're like, ooh, you're like, no, thank you.
Yeah. But I was like, I don't know if she actually is, and if Feyre's just like saying shit.
Yeah, that's fair. This Tamlin moment is interesting, right? So they're talking about Ninsar approaching. Callum Nye wouldn't be long after that. My stomach twisted. If Tamlin was intent on upholding tradition, if I was no longer with him, I didn't let myself get that far down the road. It wouldn't be fair to me, to him. She's like, it's not fair to me to stress about this or be upset about it. I left. And it's not fair for me to be mad at him if he keeps up with traditions. I left. But there's a moment where she's like, ugh, I don't like that idea of him with somebody else.
I guess that's natural.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you just feel conflicted. It's recent. It is recent. Also, how long has it been? Like a month? Or...
I don't know if this is a world building issue or if this is an American problem, but all of Summer Court has 4 main cities. And maybe it's because they have villages and towns. Well, maybe they have lots of villages and towns and things like that. Like, they have 4 big cities, right? And I guess you can say that, like, America only has a handful of big cities. And America's unquestionably larger than the Summer Court is.
Yeah.
So yeah, all right. But it just seems weird that I was like, really, an entire... And because, but we also... That's how it is with all of these. Like, we're like, where are these other cities in all of these courts, right? We just see the manor and the barracks in Spring Court. We see Valaris, which is a hidden city, by the way. And then we see Hewn City, but we know that there is a countryside. And we see the Illyrians, but I'm like, the Night Court is the largest of courts. You're going to tell me there's no big cities? And then there's only 4 cities. I don't know. It just feels weird.
It seems like a world building problem.
It does.
I never really thought of it like that, but yeah, there definitely should be way more cities.
There's millions of cities in the United States. Even if you just said like California, right?
Yeah.
Like there's
millions of cities.
There's more than 4 main cities in California.
Yeah.
But maybe not. I don't know. There's like what?
Well, there's like gigantic ones like San Diego, LA, Sacramento, and San Francisco. But then there's like, I don't know what you consider a city. Yeah, maybe everything's in towns. But towns, I will say the fact that we like don't even understand like the scope of the land or where people live or like how like
so small.
And We should have visited some of this with Feyre and Rhys.
It also just it just seems so small for a world building.
I always get the sense there's like 100 Fae.
Yeah.
And so then I'm like, what are all these? What do you mean there's a court? Isn't there like 2 people in the spring court? Like, it feels like it's just Lucien and Tamlin and Ianthe.
This is an interesting place to, so, they hold Tarquin's, so Rhys asks, the repairs have been going well, I take it, and then Tarquin's attention goes back to him and says, mostly, there remains much to be done. The back half of the castle is a wreck, but as you can see, we finished most of the inside. We focused on the city first, and those repairs are ongoing. And I said, already right there tells you what kind of leader he is. He didn't start with his palace. He started with the cities.
Yeah.
And then Amarantha sacked the city? ? I said, good fucking question. Ask it.
Mm-hmm. Well, she doesn't want to look like she doesn't know shit.
And then also strange, I hope no valuables were lost during its occupation. Okay, this is me being a dick for 5 seconds. I know that this question is designed to suss out this book thing, right? Mm-hmm. But you just asked Tarquin if the rebuilding is going well. And he was like, yeah, we started in the cities. And you're like, I hope no valuable things were lost in the occupation. The most valuable thing are the people. So for Tarquin to be like, not the most important things, thank the mother, the most important things are your people, are your subjects, sir. This is a powerful man conversation, and I hate it.
Mm-hmm. Well,
did you lose any? How much did you lose during COVID? Oh, I actually made millions of dollars during COVID. Fuck off, dude. You know what I mean? Like, this just feels like Bezos's conversation right now. It's so annoying.
Do they think that there's no way they have any idea that Rhys wants to steal the book? Like, after, but like there's no possible way they could know this. So what is Cresseida? Because right after Cresseida tenses. And so like, what do they have, some other treasure that they're like, oh, he knows? Or like
or maybe she's like, well, you just said that there are the most important things. Don't ask about important things. Maybe she's just like a slip of the tongue where she's like, you've given him an in to be like what? What things? I don't know. But yeah, Cresseida seems, it's a weird thing.
To me, I think this is meant to make us feel tension about the book and feel like they know. But they definitely have no fucking idea. It's so random, so out of left field. There's not even a guess that they should have. Yeah. I mean, to think about like, a High Lord's gonna go and try to disable the cauldron is a crazy thought.
Exactly.
Like, no one is thinking that at all.
They don't even, I mean, presumably they don't know that Hybern has the cauldron.
Yeah. So, yeah, I wonder.
Although I guess if Rhys and his spies can figure it out, maybe Tarquin can too. But maybe. It seems, I don't know.
I think there would be more, if other High Lords had figured it out, there would be more talk. Yeah. And I kind of think it's a writing problem. I think she was like, we need to build in some tension about the book, and didn't realize that that's kind of a can of worms that you can't really eat them like that.
Yep. It's like all of the High Lords performing at Kalimni. The fuck? the fuck? Yeah. Tarquin's going into
there was cave? 2 High Lords at one, and Rhys didn't go into his cave.
Rhys performed. Come on, I can't even imagine him performing, even if it was a time of peace back in the day. I could see him giving Tamlin shit for it. Be like, bro, that's a weird fucking shit to do. Tamlin's like, I'm gonna go get my dick wet, and he's like, yeah, I'm good. That's weird.
Well, maybe if they all really, like, I mean, it clearly does something with the magic, so... But maybe Tamlin's, maybe they just all are like, somebody's got to get laid on this night, figure it out.
Or maybe
Tamlin's the only one who does this shit.
Maybe he's telling her that all the High Lords do it, so it doesn't make it so weird.
Yeah, Tamlin's just fucking lying.
It's a lie. He's like, I'm the only one who does this, but I can't tell this girl that I'm the only one who does that, because then she's going to think I'm weird. I mean, all the High Lords do it. True. That's funny. All the High Lords like being pegged. Feyre, it's fine. It is totally fine, but
don't be weird about it and don't tell anyone.
Yeah. this is an interesting. She's already in flirting mode, right? Because
Yeah.
he's like, he's asking. He says, "This is my favorite view." She said, "You must be proud to have such stunning lands. How do they compare to the ones you've seen?" He's like, "Do you like it better than Spring Court? What's going on in the north there, huh, babe?" And she's like, "All of Prithian is lovely when compared to the mortal realm." And then he said, "Is being immortal lovelier than being human?" And she's like, "You tell me, bud. Do I look lovelier now that I'm immortal?"
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, he's like, "You're a pearl, though I knew that the day you threw the bone at Amaranth and splattered mud on her favorite dress." And she's like, right. I did do that, I guess. And then,
Mm-hmm.
right, does he realize that the tug is his power or if it's a bond or some strange allure? And then he straight up, right, then she's like, "I don't remember you being so handsome under the mountain. Sunlight and the sea suits you." And then she's waiting for him. She's like, a lesser male might have preened, but Tarquin knew better, knew that I had been with Tamlin and now was with Rhys and had been brought here. Perhaps he thought I was no better than Ianthe. How exactly do you fit in with Rhys's court? And I wrote, "You dating this guy?"
Mm-hmm. It definitely seems like that.
He's like, "Hold up. Okay, so you were with Tamlin. Now you're hanging out with this guy. So, and then you were brought here. So, am I supposed to fuck you? Is this a little gift to me? Or are you with this guy? What's happening here?"
Mm-hmm. Or you
But he's also
conniving?
maybe checking if she's available. What
I
exactly
think
is your
so.
role? Yeah.
Yeah, seems like that.
And then Rhys jumps in and says that she's his emissary and part of the inner circle.
That's another narration point. No doubt to get me on an even footing. And I was like, maybe he just wants to fuck. It's
Oh,
not
yeah,
like some
right?
big plan. It could just be like,
He's
or
like,
he's just
"Her
like,
tits
what's up
are
with that?
nice, and he said it was okay that I look at them, and you're flirting with me. So what's the play here? Are you trying to get your gotta catch 'em all with the High Lords? Like, what's happening here?"
Yeah.
She's collecting High Lords like Pokemon cards.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, right.
And Rhys is just like, I'm not pretending like I'm not going to listen. Like, you know, it's like, he should feel a little embarrassed to just butt in the conversation like that, but he just can't
Yeah.
help himself. And he's like, yeah,
Yeah.
she's this. Get the fuck away from her.
Yeah, she's wondering about who Amren's going to eat while she's there, and then she says,
Mm-hmm.
Varian seems like a good guess."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this little conversation is interesting. Also, I have this is another spot where I was like, this analysis is so strange to me. So Tarquin sits at the head of the table between Rhys and Amren, and she says, "A bold move to situate himself between two such powerful beings."
No, it's not
And
the
you
head of the
think,
table. It's the place that the High Lord would sit. You're in
damn.
his house, in his court. He's the High Lord of the Summer Court. He sits at the head of the table.
And also, they're not like it. Should most people be afraid to sit between two people who they're supposed to be like not enemies to?
Yeah.
Like, what is he supposed to do? Like, make an extra chair? Like,
Or what, he's supposed to sit down at the other end?
stand?
Like, what the fuck? Yeah, what, he's
There's
going to sit
one
next?
seat left.
He's the High Lord. He sits at the head of the table.
Yeah, but I don't know. I was just like, is Feyre like? It seems like
Yeah.
unreliable.
I sit at the
Yeah.
head of the table at my house if I were to have a non-circular table because it's my goddamn house and I made all the fucking food.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Such a
so
weird,
weird.
yeah. I do
Maasverse.
love that they sort of are discussing Highburn, but really they're worried about Civil War.
I forgot about that until I read that. I was like, what are they talking about? And then I
Yeah.
was like, oh, right, the Tamlin
And then
thing.
Cressida's being kind of a little bitch about it, right?
She
I
is.
guess is what she comes off, right? High Lords have gone to war for far less, doing it over such an unusual female would be nothing unexpected. And then she was like, "Yeah, I could steal from them. She's a bitch." And then, okay, I'd written to him, told him to stay away. He wasn't foolish enough to start a war he could not win. Not when he wouldn't be fighting other High Fae, but Illyrian warriors led by Cassian and Azriel. It would be slaughter.
That's another moment. I was like, would it? Like, they're not so.
Tamlin lived in a war band.
And also, did he learn to fight with Rhys?
Warrior High Lord. Yes, he has Illyrian weapons on him.
Yeah, dude, he actually does.
His little fucking vest is full of Illyrian weapons.
Her saying it would be slaughter seems so silly to me. I
I
was like,
said pure faith in night court might. What?
yes. Yeah, she actually does see. She seems propagandized. She seems brainwashed.
Yes.
Yes, actually, this is probably out of left field. This is kind of like one of the better chapters for unreliable Feyre narration.
Or Feyre has seen the fighting styles of the Illyrians by proxy, I guess. She hasn't been to the Illyrian war camps yet, but she's fighting with Cassian and she knows that he's, fucking whatever. And but like all she sees, and it could just be a limited of seeing, right? Like, okay, so she sees the sentries around the spring court, but she never sees them fight. She sees the barracks, but those are resting places. So she doesn't see them training. She doesn't see like any of those sorts of things. So maybe it's just an ignorance of that, right? It's like she doesn't see the war machine that exists or possibly exists in Spring Court, but she does see the military in the Spring Court. So maybe it's just, why would he go up against them? It would be slaughter because all she has ever seen is the prim and proper bullshit and sentinels standing around fucking talking to her about how great she was under the mountain.
Yeah, and also she's not even really seen the Illyrians that much. Like,
no, she's seen Cassian and Asriel, and she hasn't really seen them fight. She's just seen, she's seen them
she's just
spar.
like, oh, big muscles.
Yeah, she was like, "How are you gonna fight without wings, Tamlin? You little bitch." But yeah, I don't know. It's just and she's seen them spar. She's seen their weapons, and she's been training with them. But yeah, it's like, okay, so you go to one Krav Maga class, and all of a sudden you think that fucking, exactly how military fighting happens. Come on. Sorry.
No, I thought the same thing.
I do love this little thing that she says, right? Try not to look too excited, princess. The High Lord of Spring Court has no plans to go to war with the Night Court. And she goes, are you in contact with Tamlin then? She's being a little bitch about it. And then she says, there are things that are public knowledge and things that are not. My relationship with him is well known. And I underlined is, as opposed to was. Its current standing, however, is none of your business, none of your concern or anyone else's. I do know Tamlin, and I know that there will be no internal war between courts, at least not over me or my decisions. And then she's like, what a relief then to know that we're not harboring a stolen bride that we would need, and that we need not bother returning her to her master as the law demands, and as a wise person might do to keep trouble from their doorstep. And then she says, I left of my own free will. I am no one, and no one is my master. And I'm like, oh, she's straight into like, fuck this place, right? And then she says too, right, Cresseida goes on and says, think that all you want, lady, but the law is the law. You were his bride. Swearing fealty to another High Lord does not change that. So it is a good thing that he respects your decision. Otherwise, all it would take would be a letter from him to Tarquin requesting your return, and we would have to obey or risk war ourselves. And then Rhys is like, you're always a fucking joy. And then Varian, who is her brother, is like, careful. She's telling the truth. And then Tarquin says, Rhysand is our guest. His courtiers are our guests. We will treat them as such. We will treat them, Cresseida, as people as we treat people who saved our necks when all it would have taken is one word from them for us to be very, very dead. So like he gets, but like that's the other thing. Like then why is Rhys playing this as the dickhead High Lord when Tarquin already knows that Rhys saved him under the mountain and rebelled against Amarantha? Which is interesting.
Maybe it is kind of just for like, because Tarquin clearly told Cresseida. Also, this is the reason why Rhys was in a bad mood. Maybe Asriel and Cassian were just the whole time being like, if you take her there, they can call Tamlin, and then you're gonna have to fight with Tamlin. This is stupid. And then he's just like, shut it,
Yeah.
That's actually probably what it is, huh?
Good, yeah.
Because it's clearly on all of their minds.
I do love that this statement, though, tells me that Tarquin maybe knows already that Rhys is putting on a mask, because he says, we have more to discuss later, you and I. Though I'm throwing, he's acknowledging, we'll have a private conversation about these things, Rhys.
Yeah.
when you're not fucking putting on this bullshit for the people around us. And he says, I'm throwing a party on my pleasure barge in the bay. Blech. And then of course he's like, you can go wherever you want or whatever. And then he says, you will forgive its princess if she is protective of her people. Rebuilding these months have been long and hard. We do not wish to do so again anytime soon. Cresseida made many sacrifices on behalf of her people. And I said, what sacrifices? Was she under the she wasn't under the mountain.
That's what
And
I was wondering, because it says that she has a dark, haunted look in her eyes, and I'm like, seems like there's a lot of backstory here.
Yeah, and then even Rhys kind of calls it out as like, bullshit. We all made sacrifices. Fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
And then he says, and you now,
because of Feyre.
Yeah, and you now sit at this table with your family because of the ones Feyre made. So you will forgive me, Tarquin, if I tell your princess that if she sends word to Tamlin, or if any of your people try to bring her to him, their lives will be forfeit. And I said, posturing, or is this a mate bond, protectiveness? Like, what is happening here? Yeah. And then he's like, don't threaten me in my own home. My gratitude only goes so far. And he's like, it's not a threat, it's a promise, which is like the lamest of lines. Yeah. And then, right, so I lifted my glass of wine, looked them each in the eye, holding Tarquin's gaze the longest, and said, no wonder immortality never gets dull. Tarquin chuckles, but loses a breath as she thinks it might be relief. And through the bond between us, I felt Rhysand's flicker of approval. And this is one of the last times that she'll feel anything through the bond, because then he shuts her the fuck out and ignores her.
Oh, I forgot about that. That is interesting. I will say a lot of this chapter, she's really noticing his approval, and also she is imitating him a lot of places. Like, she's like, I did my best impression of Rhys doing this. Yeah. I tried to look bored and flat, like, and I'm like, these are just like, let me copy Rhys, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
And then I also thought it was interesting. She says Rhys's face was gloriously disinterested. She's like, what is she just like? Is that just her being impressed that he's so good at masking it? Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. It's just interesting, and I feel like she's also getting like kind of high on his approval. She's like, hell yeah, I did a good job, yay me. Like that, and in the other moment.
I think that we should read the next two chapters together, because it is very tense between what happens on the barge and the fact that Rhys and Cresseida are hardcore flirting and are not seen together when they exit the boat. And then the next morning, she's like, fine, we can still be friends even if he's fucking other people. He can do, like, we didn't make, he's not mine, blah, blah, blah. She's all fucking salty over it. But she also doesn't have the nerve to come out to breakfast.
That's how 33 ends?
33 ends with
them going off together.
Yeah, I filed on to land with the rest of the crowd. Amren, Varian, and Tarquin were waiting for me at the docks, all a bit stiff-backed. Rhysand and Cresseida were nowhere to be seen. And then the next one, she was like, mercifully, there was no sounds from his closed bedroom, and no sounds came out during that night. And then she said, he could still be my friend, companion, whatever this thing between us was. His taking someone to his bed didn't change those things. It'd just be a relief to think that for a moment he might have been as lonely as me.
Okay, yeah, we could read this together. That is a hard place to stop there, actually. Because I think we just thought they were long.
Because I also think that's the chapter that she gives Tarquin the smile, is in 33. And Rhys kind of loses his shit.
Yeah. What got under my skin is that you smiled at him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, next week we'll do chapter 33 and 34. And then we'll do 35, 36, 37 together as well. And so yeah.
And then we'll finally get the fuck out of summer.
Hell yeah. I mean, I do like summer, but it does feel like a weird interruption at the same time. Like when I reread it, I tend to go quick through this and just like, all right, let's go.
I love the summer court, but I hate the summer in general. It's my least favorite season.
It is also my least favorite season, but it's so nice right now.
That's because we thick girlies and it's hot.
Yeah, well, it's just nice to not have to do anything.
Oh, that's not my life.
And it's not your, yeah.
No, I love a school year. To the stars who listen, we'll see you next week.